Hello, let's make a painting. And we're gonna start putting all over the place. And put the paper back. Actually, I'm gonna make a little bit longer video than usual. One of the viewers asked me, can I do not a full tutorial, but just to record the full process. And why not? We'll see how that's gonna work out. I'm gonna start with some orange, as you see, and just put it in the middle. And majority of the time, I don't make paintings. I don't feel like I'm making paintings. I'm creating them. And if you got to be even more specific, I feel like the painting develop itself. I'm just putting some paint there. As you see, I put some orange, some gold green on the foreground. I just try to see what the paper want to do, what the color want to do, how they want to reflect and play with the water. And this turnout here is some kind of background on the left side and some kind of grass on the foreground. And everything is blending so well with the water. It's feel like kind of windy day. So I'm gonna let the foreground and midground and the background to just chill a little bit. And I'll put a couple of strokes for the sky and see what's going on. And just like you see here, is the water start doing her stuff, and the paint and the pigment is moving around. Just try to find what the sky wanna be, and it's look like kind of busy sky, but not cloudy, just kind of windy. I'm just gonna keep adding. The pigment is very rich, some kind of mix between black and blue. Very nice. Look at it. It's got this rich saturated color in the middle where it's more concentrated, and it's more spread, it's more translucent, and it's creating this windy vibes. I'm gonna leave it like this for now. The sky is pretty much done. I'm gonna let it develop, just like nature, leaving all the stuff develop itself. It's just put I plant it there and let it go. That's what I'm gonna do with the sky. I think it's more than enough there. Now for the foreground, I'm gonna take some red and black and just mix them directly on the paper. I'm kind of still not decide what I want to do in the foreground, but I know one thing for sure. This gold green look like a grass on the foreground, so I'm just keep adding some colors until everything become more clear what it is. And I start to get into heavy on the foreground, so on the midground I'm gonna put another spot so it can balance. So we will have this very busy left side of the painting, and it's gonna reflect in with the more open empty space on the right side where is the white part. Which one we're gonna leave it like this. Now I'm gonna put some kind of paddles of water with blue. And now it looks like I'm gonna put some of the, still not decide what I want to do. I will take the palette knife, and it's just playing around. Still not very clear for me what the painting want to be. And as you can see, by the way, the sky is, you see how it's developing slowly. I'm gonna move around the paint with the palette knife. I love working with the palette knife, as you see in my previous videos. And I'm gonna grow up some grass. It looks like it's a grass. The red spots, they turn into grass. And now it's kind of clear to me what it's gonna be. So I'm gonna take a black gouache, make some of the shadows on this grass formations on the midground and the foreground. Just add a little bit more and prepare. clear the brush and maybe a little bit more gold green and just put it on the foreground. I think I'm going to emphasize everything on the foreground. It's going to balance very well with the sky. I'm going to take the palette knife again and just try to make some lines. And as you can see, I'm dipping the palette knife in the sky and just grab some of this color, so I can have nice shadows, now nice throwing shadows on the ground. And right now I'm gonna grow up even more grass. So this is gonna help me with a second layer of grass. So we had the first one with the red, and now we're gonna build it up the second one with the black wash. So we can have a multiple layers of grass. It will give us that feeling of depth. I'm just playing around. It's windy, so it's no wrong way to go with this grass. The wind is blowing everywhere. And now, here's the thing. I'm gonna put some of the final touches here. I'm gonna put even more black wash, and I'm gonna emphasize a lot on the foreground and the midground. Also, is gonna work very well with the sky, because the sky is kind of dark, and then this throwing shadows doesn't look that dark anymore next to the black wash, so we can have multiple layers of shadows. Take the palette knife, start moving around the black wash. And I'm going to take a clear brush, just clean brush, and remove some of the paint on the foreground. I feel like it needs to be just a little bit lighter in some spots. It's like the light going through the sky and the clouds and going on the ground. A little bit, not too much. I don't want to destroy this colorful foreground. And I'm going to take some red, and I love poppies. I love red flowers in general. And I'm just going to turn the grass into flowers. There are some flowers in this grass. And nothing too specific, just a couple of red dots. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's just the nature grow up a couple of flowers around. I think that's going to be a great accent for our painting. Some nice detail. It's there, it's just not nudging you in the face with it, but it's there. And just add a little bit more here and there. Clear the brush. Maybe some red reflection. I guess it's kind of wet, so I'm gonna take blue and just make it's not a water, but it's just wet. I guess it's before storm. That's why the sky is so windy. And by the way, you can see the sky fully develop at this point. It's like a wind going from left to right. And there you go, a watercolor abstract landscape.